Welcome back to CIS 105. Today we're going to work on Word Chapter 2, creating a research paper with references and sources. This starts on WD 57. On WD 58, you're going to see some information about MLA documentation style, and on WD 59, you'll see the completed document, what it's going to look like. So let's go ahead and flip all the way over to WD 60. On WD 60, the first direction is to go ahead and start Microsoft Word. Launch that how you choose. I happen to have a shortcut here. Now that Microsoft Word is open, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we create a blank document. So let's click blank document. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure that Word is maximized. We're going to make sure that we are in print layout mode. So we'll see we're in print layout mode here. And then if we look on the view tab, it'll say print layout mode. We're going to make sure that our normal style is selected. And you can see the normal style still is selected. We're going to make sure that on the view tab, we have our document set to page width. Now we're set to page width. And then we're going to make sure that on the home tab, we have the show hide formatting marks. And we already knew that was there because we had the paragraph symbol on our document. On WD 51, we're going to use the option to modify our normal style. This is not the same thing as modifying just the font. We're actually going to want to go ahead and modify our normal style. So let's right click on normal style and choose modify. On WD 62, we're going to go ahead to the font category and we're going to choose the option to modify the font to Times New Roman. We'll then go ahead in the font size category and change that to 12-point font. We're going to make sure that only in this document is selected. And the reason why I want to do this is we don't want to affect our other documents, changing the Microsoft default from Calibri body 11-point font to Times New Roman 12-point font for all of our documents. Right now we're just going to set it for this one. This is particularly important if you're using a shared computer in a computer lab, since changing these settings and using the new document option, we'll go ahead and change this for everyone that uses the computer. After we've done that, we'll click OK. You're not going to see much that changed, except that the font and font size have changed. Let's go ahead and choose the line spacing option. So let's go ahead on the Home tab. We're going to make sure that we go to the paragraph setting for line and paragraph spacing. Let's change our spacing to 2.0 or double spaced. Again, you're not going to see any difference at this time. Now let's go ahead and use the option to remove the space after a paragraph. So back in the line spacing option, we'll click line spacing and then we'll choose remove space after paragraph. This is the same thing as if you went to the layout tab and remove the space after here. Before it would have probably said 8-point. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to flip all the way over to WD 64. Let's go ahead and update our normal style to match what we've actually changed. So we'll right click on normal style again and we'll choose the option to update normal to match selection. If we choose this now and we were to right click on normal style and say modify, we'll see that our document is now double spaced with no space after. Let's go ahead and create a header. So let's switch to the header view. There's multiple ways of doing this. The book suggests that we go ahead and choose Insert, and then we go ahead and choose Insert a Header. When we click on Header, we have the option to Edit Header. We're not going to use one of the predefined header styles. Instead, we'll go ahead and create our own. So that's one option to go ahead and create a header. The second option to create a header would be to double-click where the header would appear in your document. So I know headers appear at the top of the document, so if I double-click there, I'm automatically in the Edit Header mode. It's the exact same thing. And if you do it this way, you're going to save a couple of steps. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the Home tab. Right now our header is left aligned. We want to go ahead and right align our header. So let's go ahead and choose the right align on the Paragraph tab right here. Okay, so we've right aligned our paragraph now. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to enter the very first bit of text, which is Carter. Alright, so we've typed Carter, and then we'll hit the space bar. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a page number. This is not the same thing as going ahead and doing typing a 1 or a 2 or a 3 here. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're on the header and that we're on the header and footer design tab. Alright, we'll see that we have the option for page numbers. If we click the drop down arrow from page number, we're going to go ahead and choose current position plain. If you did not choose current position, what's going to happen is if you chose top position and plain, it's going to overwrite the word Carter. But if we use current position plain, it's going to put the page number exactly where we have our insertion point. Alright, so now that we have current position selected, we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip to page WD 68. Let's close our header and footer right now. So let's click the big red X, or we can double click outside of the header and footer. So if I double click down here, I'm back down into my regular document. I know I'm out of the header mode because I don't see the dashed line that goes across, and my word Carter, my header right now, is sort of grayed out. Okay, so let's go to WD69, where we're going to start entering our document text. The first thing we're going to enter is the word Oswald Carter. Oswald Carter. We're going to press enter. This is going to bring us to a new line. We're going to type Miss, period, R-U-I-Z, enter. We're going to type the subject English, space, 104, enter. And then we're going to type the date, and this is October. Now watch what happens when I start typing October. It autofills the rest of the word October, so we can go ahead and press enter to insert if we like. October 10, comma, 2017. Okay, so now our document should look exactly like figure 2-14, and don't forget to press enter. Okay, let's use the option to click to type. So up until now, we've gone ahead and used the option for centering and left and right aligning using the commands here, or using the Control-L, Control-R, or Control-E keys. But what we have here is we have the ability to click to type. If you look at my insertion point right now and look at my cursor, you'll see that right now it has the left align symbol. If I bring my cursor over to the right of the screen, you're going to see the right align symbol. And if I bring my cursor to the middle of the screen, we're going to see the center align symbol. So click to type just means bring it to the center of the screen and then just double click. You see that we've centered our document without hitting Control-E or choosing the center option. It does it for us. So now that we've double tapped, we're going to go ahead and type the text safely using headphones and earbuds. After we've done that, we'll go ahead and we'll press enter to get to a new line. Now, I don't want my new line to be centered, so what I could do is I could use Control-L on the keyboard to left align, or I can choose the left align button. If you like, you can also use the click to type method, just to practice it. Now we know that we have that. Now one thing I noticed when we use the click to type, if you're not very exact when you do it, you do get an indentation here. So sometimes you have to be very exact when you do that. Sometimes it's easier just to do Control-L and bring it over there. Now we don't have it indent. Alright, let's go ahead and save our document for the first time. So we'll choose File, we'll choose Save As, we'll go ahead and find where we're going to save our documents. So I happen to have a CIS 105 folder, just like we created when we did our document files, our data files. And I have a classwork folder. So I'm going to name this document Headphones and Earbuds Paper. Headphones and Earbuds Paper. That's direction 2 on WD71. Press Save. Okay, so now I have my document saved. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to flip to WD72. Now my rulers are already turned on. If your rulers were not turned on, we'll go to the View tab and we'll make sure the checkbox next to Ruler is turned on. And that's going to display the rulers. Let's go ahead on WD73. So my insertion point is in the new line, the blank line after safely using headphones and earbuds. So it's in front of the paragraph symbol here. What I'm going to do is, because I have my ruler shown, is I'm going to use the first line indent option. So that's the top arrow pointed down on the ruler. I'm going to click it and drag it to the 1/2 inch mark. If you notice, there are large dashes for half, and then we have a number. Large dash, number 2. Large dash, number 3. So I know that I could bring it between 0 and 1 with the large dash. That's 0.5 inches. So I now have a 0.5 inch first line indent. We're going to start typing some text now. So we're on WD74. So let's type the text, people often listen to sound from their computers or portable devices through headphones or earbuds, period. Notice that because we have a first line indent, Word indented our paragraph by 0.5 inches, and because I let Word wrap to a new line, it did not indent the words or earbuds. It kept that left aligned. Let's go ahead and continue typing the text. So hit space. Then we're going to type headphones cover or are placed outside of, and it likes us to actually misspell the word the, so we're going to spell it T-E-H. As soon as I click the space bar, it's going to automatically correct the word for us because it just realized that we accidentally misspelled the word. You'll notice that there's generally an autocorrect option if you did that. If you notice I bring my mouse pointer, we'll see I have a little light arrow, a light underline, and then I have some autocorrect options. But that's an easy way to go ahead and just correct mistakes automatically as you go. So it's going to read placed, sorry, I have the word places, placed outside of the ear, comma, space, whereas earbuds rest inside the ear canal, period. Okay, so remember we had that autocorrect option that we had here, and it's right next to the word ear. We're going to go ahead and move our mouse pointer till we got the autocorrect option. We're going to hit the drop down arrow, and we're going to see Control Autocorrect Options. Let's go ahead and click that. This is going to bring up our autocorrect options box here. So in this area here, we can go ahead and add words that we commonly misspell, such as the word computer, and that's direction number 2 on WD-76. We're going to type the word computer, but we're going to intentionally spell it wrong. So let's type COMPUTER, and we're going to replace that with the proper spelling of computer. COMPUTER. Okay. Now if I click add, I have the proper spelling of the word computer here. So if I spell it wrong, it's going to spell it right for me. Now if you're in a shared lab, this may already actually be in there for you. You may get a warning that says, this is already in here. Do you want to delete it and recreate it or remove an existing entry? And you can say yes to that. Okay, now that I've done that, I can go ahead and click the Add button, and then I can click OK. If your autocorrect option did not show up, you do have the option to go ahead and get to autocorrect by going to the File tab, clicking on Options, and then you'll find the option in here for autocorrect. I believe it's under the Proofing tab and autocorrect options. Same thing, just a different way to get there. And we'll cancel out of that. Okay, so now that I've done that, we're going to flip to WD-77. We're going to type all the text that is in direction number 1. So with insertion point at the end of canal, period, we're going to press space. Then we're going to type the rest of the text with these listening devices, comma, only the individual wearing the device hears the sound. Period. Using headphones or earbuds improperly can lead to permanent hearing loss. Period. Items that may protect hearing include quality of these devices and volume levels. The directions asked us to go ahead and misspell the word sound. So let's make sure that we have the word sound spelled incorrectly. So that would be the one that says here's the sound. They want us to spell it S-O-U-L-D. This is going to be so we can use the autocorrect, or rather spell check option later. So let's intentionally misspell that word. Okay, after we've typed this, we're going to go ahead. After the period, we're going to press Enter. This is going to begin a new paragraph. And notice that the first line indent carries over to our new paragraph. Let's begin typing the text direction number 3 on WD-78. the features you see I have no problem misspelling words. Features of certain headphones and earbuds can help to prevent loss, period. Higher quality, so higher dash quality headphones and earbuds tend to produce a clearer sound, comma, enabling wearers to listen at a lower volume, and then press the space bar. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and insert our very first reference. So we're going to be working on the References tab, and we're going to be doing this an awful lot in Chapter 2. The References tab is up on the toolbar here. Click on References. Let's go ahead and let's make sure that our References tab has a style that is set to the MLA style. By default, it'll be the APA style. We're going to change it to MLA. Okay, now that we've done that, we can start by inserting a citation. So let's go ahead and let's click Insert Citation. Now that we've done Insert Citation, we're going to go ahead and add a new source. If you are on a shared computer, some of your sources may already be in here, so we'll deal with that at a later time. But right now, let's go ahead and assume this is the first time you're working with it. So, in the type of source, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change that to an article in a periodical. Let's go ahead and click on the author. Our author is going to be 2, comma, MINGZHU, space LIN. So that's our author. The next thing we'll do is we'll click on the title. The title is going to be Headphones and Earbuds. It's important that you spell things exactly as the book shows it. Capitalization is important because this will affect your works cited page later on. The next thing we'll go ahead and do is we'll press the Tab key. The Tab key can bring us to the very next line, and since corporate author wasn't going to be used, we used the left mouse button instead of choosing Tab. So let's go ahead and we'll type the periodical title, which was Technology and Trends Today. Okay, and most periodical titles are going to have capitalized every word and leave the less important words non-capitalized, such as the word and. We'll press the Tab key on the keyboard. We're going to type the year as 2017, Tab. We'll go ahead and type the month, and we'll type it as AUG period for August, Tab. We don't know the year, or excuse me, the day, so we'll just press Tab again. Our pages are going to be N period spaced PAG period. We'll press the Tab key, and the medium is going to be web. Now, this is something that you may or may not be able to do on a Mac computer if you happen to do that. Sometimes you don't have the option to show all bibliography fields. That's one of those features that Microsoft left out of Macs. So if you don't have that feature, you're not going to be able to complete all of the steps here. You'd actually go ahead and need to do as much as you can, but this option may not be available on a Mac. Let's go ahead and choose it. When we do that, we'll see that a red asterisk is going to appear next to all of the recommended fields, and that's basically everything we filled out so far. But if we scroll down after the medium, we scroll down after medium, which was web, we now have the ability to add a year accessed, which was 2017, tab, a month access, which was October, OCT, period, tab, and then the day, which is just a 3, so October 3rd. We'll click the OK button. Now, you notice that my tag name is TUM17. This is one of those things that you'll notice if the source already exists in the library of sources or managed sources here, this tag name may not be the same thing. Generally speaking, that's not going to be a problem. Alright, tag names are just unique to the document and unique to your library. Alright, if you do get an error when you try to save it, you can just go ahead and use a different tag name, something similar, maybe make it TUM18 or 19, and then press OK, and it should save without a problem. When we do that, we'll see that my citation appears as TU. If I hover my mouse over it, I'll see it appears as gray. After we've done that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to press a period to end the sentence, and then we'll press the space bar to begin a new sentence. So the text on WD81 is properly designed headphones. Flip to WD82, space, should have a close fit for optimal listening, period. Similarly, comma, earbuds should seal tightly in the ear canal of the person wearing the device. Period. Space. Headphones and earbuds also should include noise dash canceling technology. Period. And again, misspelling a word generally can be automatically corrected if it's a commonly misspelled word. Let's go ahead and save our paper again. We've been typing for quite some time. We don't want to lose our work. Now, let's go ahead and let's learn how to insert a footnote. So right now, my insertion point is after the period, after the word technology, in the second paragraph on the first page. On the References tab, I have an option for a footnote. And a footnote is that superscript number that appears. So in this case, if I choose Insert Footnote, it's the first one in my document. It's going to be superscript 1. You'll notice that it's going to bring us to a bottom part of our page. The 1 is going to be there, followed by a period. We're going to go ahead and we're going to type the text on WD83. And the text is Gupta and Pedro state that effective noise dash canceling technology reduces the interference of sounds from the surrounding environment. Period. Beg your pardon. Environment, comma. Reducing the volume level required by the headphones and earbuds. Space. Okay, so after we've done that, we're going to go ahead and add a new citation placeholder. So we'll click on Insert Citation again, and then we'll choose Add New Placeholder. So a placeholder means we're just going to go ahead and add the word that we're going to have appear in our footer or document, depending what we're doing, and then we'll add the actual source for the placeholder afterwards. So this placeholder is going to be Gupta. And we'll go ahead and press OK. This is what the tag name is going to appear as in the managed sources. So we'll click OK. So it's going to say Gupta. Okay. Let's go ahead and push period to end that sentence as well. So let's right-click on the word Gupta. Once again, these citations will appear as gray if you hover over them. If you right-click, you'll have the ability to go to Style. You'll see that we have footnote text is pre-selected. We'll go ahead and choose Modify, and we'll see that, if you notice, Times New Roman is selected, but our font is not 12 point like our document font is. So we'll change that to 12 point from 10 point. And what the styles do here is it bases the document styles off of your normal style that you selected. So you see normal here. So that means Times New Roman was selected. Alright, so that way it uses the same font and things don't look inconsistent. So now that we've done Times New Roman 12 point, we're going to go ahead and we're going to adjust the spacing to double space. So right now it's single spaced. Then we have 1.5 point space. Then we should have double space. So we'll click double spaced here. Okay, now that we've done double space, we're going to go ahead and click on the format option down here and choose paragraph. On the paragraph option, we're going to look at the special indentation portion here, and it's going to be a first line indent which will default to be indented by 0.5. When we do that, we'll click OK. We'll see that we now have an indent of 0.5, styles linked from normal, and we should be able to press OK and then apply. And watch what happens to our text once we press apply. It automatically increases the font size, it double spaces everything for us, and it has that first line indent. So let's go ahead and modify our Gupta citation. So let's click the arrow next to the Gupta, and we'll go ahead and choose the option for Edit Source. This is going to bring us to the Edit Source of Managed Sources here. And we'll see that the very last source that we used was article in a periodical. So one of the things that Word is going to do is it's going to memorize what we used last as our last source. This particular one is actually a book. So let's change our type of source to book. Okay, because the source has two authors, we can't just type author here unless you knew the proper way to format it. Instead, we're going to click on Edit. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and type the last name, first name, and middle name of the first author. So that's going to be Gupta. Tab to get to the next item there. E-L-E-N-A, Elena. Tab. And then M-A-I-A. I'll click Add, and then it'll bring the first author's name down to this list down here. Then I'll go ahead and add our second author. So that's Pedro. Tab. The first name is A-D-E-L-B-E-R-T. Tab. And it is Luis. L-U-I-S. We'll click Add again, and it'll add our second author there. We don't need to add any more authors, so we can click the OK button. So now it's going to properly format all of our authors according to the MLA guidelines for dual authors. We'll go ahead and add the title, which is Hearing Protection Methods. Okay. The year, press the Tab key, will be 2017. The city is Orlando. Tab. The publisher is Palm Press. And the medium is print. Let's press the OK button, and you can notice that Gupta was the tag name. You see this is where it is. We'll press OK, and it'll automatically update our tag name to include both authors. Let's go and edit our citation one more time. So we'll click the drop-down arrow here for citation options, and we'll choose Edit Citation. Now we can go ahead and add our page numbers, which is 75 to 78. And we can go ahead and choose the option for suppressing the author and title. When we do this, we'll notice that Gupta and Pedro are not going to be shown anymore, but instead we should see our page numbers shown. And that's exactly what happened. After we've done that, let's press the End key on the keyboard, which will bring our insertion point to the very last character of the very last paragraph. So that'll be right before the paragraph symbol after the period. Once again, always a good option to save. So we're saving our document just in case something happens. We'll position our insertion point after the footnote superscript 1, and we'll go ahead and press the Enter key to create a new paragraph. On WD-90, we're going to continue typing the text. So the text is the volume level of the sound that transmits, and I'll right click and fix that, transmits from headphones or earbuds into the ear of a person wearing this type of device has been linked to hearing loss, period, space. The volume should, I'll correct my misspelling, the volume should be set low enough that other people nearby cannot hear the sound being transmitted, period. The quieter the sounds, comma, the less possibility of hearing damage, period. Okay, so now that we've gone ahead and finished this, we're going to look at our word count. So our word count can be found down the bottom of the screen. You'll see that it's page 1 of 1. If I click on the word count, it's going to bring up a dialog box. And this dialog box right now is going to show me that I have one page and it's 231 words. According to the book, I should have characters with spaces of 1,490, and I should have characters with no spaces of 1,267. So I happen to have 5 characters someplace in here that are missing. I'm not sure where it is. It's probably a space somewhere. All right, but my word count is correct. All right, and that's all that's important right now. All right, so now let's close the word count here. All right, let's go ahead and let's flip to WD91. With the insertion point position at the end of the third sentence, right here, we're going to go ahead and press the space bar. We're going to type further, comma, listening, at a higher volume for extended periods of time. Notice that it wrapped to a new page. Could be unsafe, period. One expert suggests people should listen at only 30% maximum space. Let's go ahead and insert a citation. So let's use the insert citation. Let's choose the add new placeholder. Notice our citations are already showing up here. Add new placeholder. The new placeholder is going to be Chamberlain. That's the tag name. Okay. After Chamberlain, we'll go ahead and press the period. To go ahead and end our sentence here. Alright, so now we've done that, we'll go ahead and flip to WD90. So right now, if we scroll up or down, we'll see that between the two pages, we have this gray bar here. And we also have the footer, and the footer is white, and the header is white. So the next option is we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose hide the white space. So if you bring your insertion point or mouse down between the white space on top and white space down the bottom to that gray bar and double click, you hide the white space, essentially making it one contiguous document, hiding the header and footer of both pages. Okay, if we double click, we actually bring our white space back. So if we double click, we'll bring our white space back. All right, so let's go ahead and edit our sources now. So somewhere in the citation placeholder to be edited, this is the word Chamberlain. We're going to click it, and then we'll click the drop-down arrow. In the drop-down arrow, we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose Edit the Source. This will bring up our Edit Source box here. We're going to change the type of source to a website. We're going to go ahead and change the author to Chamberlain. Chamberlain, comma, Megan, space, Lynn. Let's press the Tab key a few times until we get to name of web page. This is going to be understanding how volume levels affect hearing. We'll press the Tab key. We want to go ahead and go down to the production company. All right, so let's go ahead and choose the option for Show All Bibliography Fields. So we'll see Production Company. And the production company is Course Technology. We don't know the year, we don't know the day, or we don't know the month, but we do know the year accessed. And that's going to be 2017. We'll press the Tab key. The month is going to be September, abbreviated SEPT, period, tab. And the day was the 16th, tab. We can press tab a couple of times until we get to the medium, which is web. All right, web. Let's press the OK button. Okay, let's press the End key on the keyboard, and we'll go ahead and get to the very last character of the very last paragraph right now. So that's after the period, before the paragraph symbol. We'll press a Enter to create a new line. We'll type the text, more and more people are using headphones and earbuds with their computers and portable devices, period, space. Using high dash quality listening devices and lowering the volume can help to lessen potential hearing loss from the use of headphones and earbuds, period. Let's save our research paper again. Alright, so now that we've saved our research paper, we're going to go ahead and insert a manual page break. There's multiple ways of doing this. The first way to do this would be go to the Insert tab and choose Page Break. If we choose this option here, we're going to go ahead and just create a page break. If we use Control-Enter on the keyboard, it does the same thing. It creates a manual page break. You'll notice if you scroll up, it says the word page break. If I scroll back down to page 3, it's going to be a brand new page. Now, what you'll notice is it's following the same style as all the other pages have been. So a first line indent of 0.5 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Home tab, and this is WD96. We're going to go ahead and make sure we're clicked on the third page in the first paragraph, and we're going to click on the normal style. What that did was that got rid of the 0.5 inch indent because our normal style didn't have that set by default. That's something we modified. So now that we've done that, we're going to center our text. So we'll click Control E or the center button, and we'll type works cited. Works cited. We'll press the Enter key. Now let's left align. You can use Control L on the keyboard or the left align key. So now that we know we're left aligned. Alright, let's go back to the References tab. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to insert our Bibliography, a Works Cited page. So on the References tab, click Bibliography and then go all the way down the bottom. And we're going to choose the small option that says Insert Bibliography. Resist the urge to use the predefined Works Cited one at the moment, because that's not what we're going to do. We're going to use Works Cited Insert Bibliography here. And we're doing that for more than one reason, but the most important one is we just typed the word Works Cited already. We don't want to go ahead and have that doubled. So let's choose Insert Bibliography. What this is going to do is it's going to use all of our pre-typed text from our managed sources to fill this out. Let's save our document again. Now, one of the things I like to show you is if you happen to be using a lab computer that has a whole bunch of sources already typed and you want to modify any of those sources, you'll be able to go ahead and choose the Manage Sources button. So on WD99, if we flip to WD99, we're going to choose the Manage Source button. Currently, my PC only has these 3 sources already installed here. Alright, you may have a giant list of all the sources that are in your master list. The easiest thing to do would be to select the source in your master list and just delete everything out of that list. That way, your sources will be the only thing in the list there. You'll then be able to click on the source and edit it to modify your tag name to be the exact one from the textbook. That way things match exactly. It won't affect your grade regardless, but it may be something that you just want to do to make sure that yours is the one that is in your document. Okay, so now that we have the Manage Source option open, let's go ahead and let's edit one of our sources. And in this case, it's going to be the last citation here. Alright, for headphones and earbuds, and we'll choose Edit. We're going to go ahead and we're going to realize that we actually meant to call this Technology Trends. So let's remove the word and just call it Technology Trends. We'll press the OK button. It's going to tell me, do you want to update these changes? We'll say yes. And we'll choose Close. Now notice, Headphones and earbuds, technology and trends. This is the citation. It did not update. In order to update it, you have to go ahead and right-click in your Works Cited page, and you need to say Update Field. This is going to update all of your fields. So any other typing errors that you may have made, you can easily correct and update them to match exactly. Now back in the old days, you would go ahead and you'd convert this document from a Works Cited page to standard text. That's not commonly practiced anymore, but if you did want to go ahead and do that, it would be Control-Shift F9 on the keyboard. If you did that, this would no longer be a works cited with a easily updatable. You'd have to go ahead and manually change the text. Alright, that's why leaving it as a default is probably your best option, so you can continually update your works cited page without having to change things. Okay, so on WD 101, we're going to click the View tab. On the View tab, we're going to go ahead and choose Open the Navigation pane. So let's hit the checkbox. My navigation is going to appear on the left-hand side. Let's click on the Pages box, and we'll see that we have 1, 2, 3 pages. We're currently on the 3rd page. We're going to go ahead and we're going to click on page 2. Click on page 2. We automatically scroll to page 2. We'll close the navigation pane by clicking the X. And page 2 is here. Let's go ahead and select the word volume. So if I find the word volume right here, I double click. I'm copying the word volume and the space afterwards. I'll choose Control-C on the keyboard, or on the Home tab I'll choose Copy. And then I'll go ahead and find the place I want to put it. So that's going to be after the word percent, after, or excuse me, maximum, after the space. I'll click Paste. And it said 30% maximum volume. Alright, so now that we've inserted the word volume afterwards, we can go ahead and choose click any place else outside the document there. Alright, so now my paste options have gone away. Let's use the Find and Replace option. So on the Home tab, you have the option for Find and Replace. Let's choose the Find button. We're going to go ahead and find and we'll go ahead and click on the results. Let's find the word portable. And it's going to automatically search our document. It made 2 searches. And we're not going to go ahead and just find it. We're going to use Replace. So let's click on Replace now. So now I'm going to get a new dialog box here that's going to be find the word portable and replace it with mobile. So find portable, replace with mobile. As soon as I do that, we're going to choose Replace All. It's going to tell me that it made 2 replacements right now. If your replacement number differs, it might be because you misspelled the word portable someplace. Alright? It's not going to replace a word that's misspelled. We'll choose the OK, and we'll choose Close. Let's flip to WD 106. Let's find the word minimize. Alright? So the word minimize is going to be on the last paragraph here. We're going to find lesson. We're going to right click lesson, and we're going to use synonyms and find the word minimize. And now we've just changed the word lesson to minimize with the thesaurus. Let's do a spell check. So on the Review tab, you'll see it says Spelling and Grammar. If I click the Review tab, Spelling and Grammar, it's going to do a spell check for me. It's going to find that misspelled word sound. Sound. It will say, click on sound. It's misspelled. We'll say change. Quality, I happen to spell wrong already, so I'm going to fix that one. Change. We know that Padro was going to come up. Since we want that to be, we're going to add it so it doesn't come up as misspelled anymore. And then it's going to tell me that my spelling and grammar is complete. And I'll choose OK. Let's go ahead and position the insertion point in the word headphones in the paragraph here. So from headphones. If I go ahead and I choose Smart Lookup under Insights, we'll see that I'm going to look up what headphones are, and I'll find some wiki articles about what headphones are. And I'll click the Close option. If I choose the Home tab on my home area, we'll click on Show Hide Formatting to hide the formatting marks. We'll click on the View on the ribbon, and we will also turn off the ruler, and we'll make it say multiple pages. And I don't need my navigation pane open, so I'll close that. And we'll see that all 3 pages are here. It might look a little different based on the size and resolution of your monitor. I'm going to click Save. Let's look what reading mode looks like. So while we're on the View tab, we can click on Read Mode. On Reading Mode, we'll see that all 3 of my pages show up next to each other. Let's change our Reading Mode view page color from no color to sepia, so it's a nice light color. And then we'll change it to inverse. And now it's black text, or black screen with white text. We'll go ahead, go View. We'll change the page color back to none. We'll go ahead down the bottom and we'll choose from Read Mode to Print Layout. We'll choose the Save button. You don't need to print, but you're going to upload this completed document to the portal. So once it's saved, we'll go to the portal. We'll make sure that we're logged in. We'll make sure that we're in our class, CIS 105OA. We'll find the assignment screen. We'll find our Word Module 2. We'll find the ability to upload a file, and we'll choose the file. We'll use Upload, and we'll find our file in our folder. Once again, our folder that I used was in my documents under my classwork, under headphones and earbuds. I even spelled earbuds wrong. Probably want to fix that now. And we'll choose Open. I'll fix it later. And I'll just choose Insert. And I'd go ahead and add the file. And then when I know I'm done with it, I'll click the big blue button to turn it in. And that's all there is to Word Chapter 2.